Hey guys, so for today's video I created this full face of makeup using the Natasha Denona Glam Face palette in dark. I did do a whole video with the light palette last week, so if you want to check out this video, I'll link that down below for you. But today I used this palette, so if you want to see how I got this look and my opinion on this palette and which one I like better, go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, I tried a new technique with my eyebrows and I hate how they turned out, but I just don't have the energy to redo them. But let's get started with the Glam Face palette in dark. Here are the shades of this palette. So beautiful. So I already primed my eyes with the Rare Beauty eye primer and I set that with a translucent powder. I'm gonna start with the Sigma E25 in the transition shade. And this shade's gonna go in my crease. So I did do a video with the light palette, and if you watched that video, you would know I loved that palette so much. Like, I love the colors, the formula, and everything. So I have pretty high hopes for this dark palette. Okay, right off the bat, I feel like this matte shade is not blending as well as the ones in the light palette did. You can see it's kind of darker in some spots. It's looking a little bit patchy. Oh no. And I did prime my eyes the same exact way with both palettes. I've been using the Rare Beauty eye primer for like a couple months now and it's my new favorite. Okay, so after just kind of blending over this shade a lot, it is looking better, so that's good. So even though that was the transition shade in the palette, I personally do need a lighter color to help blend out that color. So I'm just gonna dip into any skin tone shadow that I have on hand, and I'm gonna blend right below the brow to soften that brown color. Now I'm going to take the crease color on the same brush. So I'm going to start by placing this shade on the outer half of my lid and then bringing it into my outer crease. So I do feel like this brown is blending a little bit better, and I just love this like rich chocolatey brown. It's gorgeous. Now I'm gonna take this inner corner shade on my finger. Oh, I'm excited. And that's gonna go on the inner part of the lid. Guys, these metallic shimmers in these palettes are so beautiful. Oh my gosh. This just makes me so happy. Then going back to my E25, and I like to softly blend around the edges of the shimmer. All right, now let's go even smokier. I'm gonna take the smoke shade on a Sigma E42, and I'm just gonna deepen up this outer corner even more. You guys know I love a deep outer corner. It's like my favorite kind of look to do on myself. All right, so we're looking very smoky right now. I'm gonna go do my foundation and concealer off camera, and then we'll put on the cream blush together, so I will be right back. Okay, so I have just foundation on. Yes, I look crazy. I'm wearing the KVD Good Apple, the foundation balm in Light 21. I got this in my little Sephora haul. Still kind of unsure of how I feel about it, but it looks pretty good, I feel like. Okay, but let's try out the blush in this palette. The color looks so gorgeous. So I'm gonna take it on a Sephora Collection Pro Foundation number 56 brush. Do a little bit more. Okay, I like how the color looks. It's not like too dark or too crazy, but I'm really, let me show you how I'm picking this up. So I'm like swirling my brush in here, but very light-handedly, and then just lightly tapping on my face. Okay, so there's the blush. Let me do my concealer now. Also for my concealer, I'm using the Benefit Boing Cakeless Concealer. And then before I add any powder, I'm actually gonna add a little bit more cream blush because my concealer covered up just a little bit of it. So I'm gonna touch it up. Then just pat over everything with my sponge. And then I'm gonna add my powder. I'm gonna use the Kosas Cloud Set in Breezy. This is my favorite powder in the world. Now I'm just gonna add some bronzer. I'm using the Hourglass Nude Bronze Light. I'm using a Sigma F10 brush for this. Now let's try the highlighter in here. I'm gonna take a Sigma F03. I think the highlighter is just a tad bit too deep on my skin, which is totally fine. I'm just gonna softly kind of blend it out with my sponge. So I'm actually just gonna use the highlighter from the Light palette, add a little bit to like the very top of my cheekbone, because I still have that other highlighter underneath it, but I just want like a little more pop. I think I'm happy with that. Let's zoom in and finish up the eyes. So I'm gonna go back to the Sigma E42 and I'm gonna take the crease color. I'm gonna blend that along my entire lower lash line. We're clearly going very smoky today. Now I'm gonna go back to just a skin tone colored shadow, and I'm gonna use that to soften the brown. Now I'm gonna take my favorite black liner. It's the Haus Labs Gel Liner Colt and Punk, and we're going in the waterline. And then just taking that E42 and kind of like pulling the black down, kind of like in between my lashes, just blending that out. Kind of a little bit of a smokier look. All right, now I'm gonna go pop on some mascara and lashes. All right, my lashes are on. I went with a pretty bold pair today. I'm wearing my brand, The Bright Lashes, in the style Angela. And we are doing a little Black Friday Thanksgiving sale on our website right now. Everything is 20% off until Sunday. All right, and here's what the full face of makeup looks like on my lips. I'm wearing the Sigma Cinderella liquid lipstick in the shade Dreamy. I love my makeup today. I feel like I'm having so many filming days where my makeup just turns out so good and I'm like so happy about it, so good for me. Like, you just can't go wrong with a smoky brown eye, and especially this shimmer metallic shade on the lid is like the most perfect tone ever. So the only shade I didn't use today was the outer corner. Let me swatch it because I don't even know what this looks like. Yeah, so this one's definitely more pinky toned, and I want to do something a little more neutral today, which is why I didn't use that shade. So I did mention in the beginning I was having some issues blending out that transition shade right here, but I feel like with the look all done, like I don't really notice any blending issues. So as I kept layering the shadow, it just kind of got better and better. So maybe that was just kind of like a one-time fluke, I don't know. The blush is really pretty. I felt like I had to keep layering it on my face, but I do love the color that it has. And like I said, the highlighter is just a tad bit too dark for me, but I would kind of expect that using a palette that is called Dark. I feel like you guys are gonna ask me which palette I like better. It might be the light one. The dark palette is absolutely beautiful, but when I used the light one, like I was shocked by how amazing everything went on. And the highlighter works better for me in this palette. I think this blush shade works better for me, but probably because I am a lighter skin tone. I would also see myself using these palettes together, like using these browns as my transitions and then deepening up with these shades. So I like them both though. I know that a lot of you guys order these palettes, so I would love to know your thoughts on them. How are you liking them? Because I am very much enjoying them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.